Welcome back, everybody, for some more Sunday Night League racing here at Race Spec. We are round 13 of the PS Pacific Open Tier 1 Series, and tonight we are at the Yas Marina Circuit in the desert in Abu Dhabi. So looking for a really good, enjoyable race tonight as we've got the ready up for the drivers as countdown ticks to 0. So we got 29 laps around this 5.281 kilometre circuit, 16 turns, 2 DRS zones, plenty of straights, plenty of exciting racing that should be on the cards for tonight. So as we wait for these drivers to select which tyre compounds they would like for tonight, I'll go over the race results from last week at our sprint round at Brazil. Karma, he got the double victory. So won the sprint and the feature. Prezzo only needed a few points to become champion, and that's exactly what he's done. So Prezzo is our Season 7 champion, and him and Orphan have taken out the Red Bull have taken out the Constructors' Championship. So pretty much domination from Prezzo, but pretty much second to fourth in the drivers, fairly close between Grimmy and Tay Jays with 3 rounds to go, and with the Constructors, Alpine in second and McLaren in 7th. There's only just over 30 points between 5 teams, so excited to see where that ends up. But enough about the standings. We'll wait for our first driver to come out. That looked like a Red Bull, so it will either be our championship winner or orphan drop. But we do have a Ferrari Entei, so lone Ferrari tonight. The Beast not racing again, but good to see that we have 19 drivers, so we have nearly a complete grid. And Junkyard left the session, but he's back in it, so hasn't lost much time. But our reserves tonight are Harass in the Merc and Extinct in the Alpine. So plenty of drivers looking to try and get their first win of the season. It's pretty much nearly been Prezzo and a couple of other drivers that have been able to take that top spot. But as we know, anything can happen in these races as Entei comes around the new part of the circuit that was remodeled for 21. So that should give, so there's not a tight chicane, so we should see some good side-by-side racing through there. And you can take a few different lines through that corner, so it'll be interesting to see how the drivers go. But we'll go on board with Entei as he starts his first flying lap. As he comes around the start-finish straight around turn 1, wants to ride that curb. Doesn't want to get too much around 2 and 3. You can lose it if you get on those curbs a little bit, so you have to be a little bit careful. Now around 4 down to the run down at turn 5. So this part has also been remodeled to make overtaking a little bit easier, but onto the run down. First shot of DRS, so really long run down. Broke nicely, ride that curve a little bit. Those sausage curbs can unload the car if you're not careful and you're too aggressive over them, but takes them nicely to the second DRS zone. Carrying all the speed, and now this new part. Taking a nice line through there. You can very easily extend through there. Just taking it a bit easier, and then you've got the triple right-hander. Around 12 now, and then this part of the circuit's just been cleaned up a little bit, making it more flowing in the third sector. And around 15 now, as he comes around the final corner. Nice line through there, comes across the line, and that is a 1:24.6 for Entei, so not a bad lap for the Ferrari driver, first lap out. So So Snickers Bud's just about to start his first, actually just finished. Orphan drop, he goes pole at the moment with Grimmy just behind him. So current pole, Banana squeezing in the third. So Entei, what was Snickers Bud? Just trying to get out of the way as Logan goes into the top 5. So time's just coming in now. Met's not quite got a lap. I think Junkyard, he's invalidated. And Bompton's just about to start his out lap. He's fly, yes he is. What about Prezzo, championship winner? He comes across the line, only P8 at the moment. So lots of time for him. As one AlphaTauri is in the pits. Karma, he crosses the line. He keeps his good form going. He got his first man into the 26s, 23s, 23.9. About a tenth quicker than Orphan at the moment. We've seen Karma and Orphan the last couple of races be fairly quick and battling. So, yeah, Broke Vegan in the chat. Karma, Bompton, Junkyard Combat. Yeah, they've been fairly decent this season. Combat and Bompton probably been a little bit unlucky as Grimmy, he's had a bit of a spin. Just got to be a little bit careful joining. He's right to go. Who have we got? I think Junkyard. Might be Metz, the first Haas driver. A little bit wider through turn 14 than he probably would have wanted, but comes around the final corner now. He crosses the line, he gets himself into the top 7 on a 24.8. The Merc is in. Junkyard, he's about to finish his first lap. What can he do? Can he match his teammate? Not quite, but Bompton, he gets into the top 6. So one of the men that I just called out, not a bad spot at the moment. Karma definitely leading after our first out laps, the first flying laps I should say, for everybody. Extinct on his first flyer. Be a little bit wider than what he wanted through there. Oh, and he's just lost the rear end, and that's a spin. So he'll come back into the pits, get a fresh set of tyres, I reckon. So Jeff on his first banker. He goes wide as well. Around 15 now. And final corner 16. He comes across the line. Jeff, he's into the top 5. So we've seen Jeff probably the last 4 or 5 races qualify really well. The races probably haven't gone his way, but he'd be looking to have a really good night tonight. As a lot of these drivers, as you see, 4 cars coming out of pit lane. So a bit of congestion at this part of the track. And Bompton's in. Jeff's, he's just letting everybody go. So at the moment 5 cars haven't set a lap time yet, still plenty of time left. Got 10.5 minutes to go. So Harass, I'm not sure if we've had Harass in this season, so he might be one of our new reserves. No, I don't think he has, so interesting to see how Harass goes on his first night. So I've raced with him only a few days ago actually, and he's definitely got some pace, so he'll be definitely one to watch if he can get this lap together. So while everyone else is on an out lap, I reckon we'll follow Harass around. He's got a Ferrari just coming out, which is Entei, so a bit far enough ahead, and Entei will get out of the way for the Mercedes. So he's got purple sector 1 on my screen, and Entei does let him go. Activate DRS for the first time. So this long straight, so we should see a lot of passing down into this corner. But you do have to remember, and he comes through 6 and 7 now, that you may get the move done, but you can get attacked back with the person you just passed to get DRS because you've got 2 separate detection zones. As he goes purple middle. And that looks like the quickest middle sector I've seen so far. As he comes around the triple right-hander and this new section of Sector 3. Taking a nice line through. Nearly touches the wall but gets away with it as he rounds 15. Just trying to cut as much of the track as he can. As he gets the run to the line, that jumps him up to P7. So he's about half a second off. Probably not the line that he wanted to take through probably the last couple of corners. Notice that he did lose a little bit of time, but so there should be more time in there for us. As we've got Jeff, he's spun. So we've got a lot of cars here getting out of the way. Pretty messy around here. So I think that's a McLaren. It is. They are on a lap. 26-1. So I reckon that might have been affected by all that traffic there. Logan, he was on a banker. Or on an outlap, I should say. Oh, and who's that? That's Stobby. He's had a bit of a spin around that new hairpin. So he'll get to recover from that. So I think we got a Williams around the back. Oh, so that's Stobby, he's coming in. What about one of the Alfa Romeos around the last couple of corners now. So Bobden just in the 10 at the moment. He's just starting his flyer. Ente, he's just about to come across the line. He's up on his time at the moment. He jumps into the top 4, 24.3, so about 4 tenths off at the moment. So, Buster in the chat, third last night. His time was a 23.7. So not a bad lap time from you, Buster. So yeah, we should see with your pace, comparative to some of these other guys, I have a feeling these Karma, should get close to somewhere near that. I reckon a 23.5 would be probably get fairly close to pole, I reckon. Prezzo's in. And I think that McLaren and AlphaTauri behind him is in as well. Logan, he's got no RRS. So not sure why he's crossing the line again. I would have come in if I was him. Karma, quickly jump back onto, he's in as well. Jeff, he's about to start his fly, and I think he's at Bompton. He's right behind the Aston Martin, but what can he do? He goes in on the front row at the moment, and he was only half a tenth behind Karma, so really good lap from Bompton there. And purple last sector. So really nice lap from Bompton. So very close between our top 4, only a couple of tenths in it. As Remy, he's coming out for his final run. As once we get the yellow flags gone, I'll be able to let you know the time. As I'll quickly watch Clarence. He's coming across the line any minute now. Riding on board with him, he crosses the line. He's just starting his flyer. He's got, who's that? Oh, someone, oh, and that's invalidated, so that really put him off. So he's not happy with that, I reckon. So here was that. I think that was one of the Haas's. That was Metz. So, oh, and there's contact there. So Clarence showing his disapproval, but that's definitely not the way you want to do it. So don't be surprised if there may be a little bit of report about this, about the blocking, but the contact after was not good. So hopefully these two could just get on with their laps. So we'll just stay on these guys at the moment, just in case there's any more shenanigans. As everybody is on lies behind that us in final corner. He's coming into the pits. So who have we got around the hairpin now? That's Mercedes-Benz, but that's on an outlap. Yeah, definitely an unfriendly nudge there. Definitely Clarence showing his disapproval of being blocked at the first corner and making him pretty much stuffing up his line into turn one. But these two are still fairly close together, which you sort of don't want to see. So hopefully maybe Metz comes in. Because Metz is a fair bit behind. Oh, as they do both come in. Someone's had a spin. Who's that? That's Mercedes-Benz going the wrong way. He's got to be careful. Yeah, just sort of stay still, let Prezzo go through. Even though he's ghosted, just don't want to distract the oncoming driver. So we have Stobby about to start his lap. Junkyard, he's up. So what can he do? Currently P17 at the moment. He jumps up a few spots into P14, 25.3. I'll go back to Grimmy because he was a man, I'd say he was flying, probably made a bit of a mistake, so this is going to be his final run. Oh, he's got 2.5, yeah, this will be his final run because he won't have enough time to pit. So we'll stay on board and we'll follow Grimmy through his lap. Off drop, he's not on a flyer. So we can follow Grimmy around. Hopefully he's got enough ERS for the rest of the lap. So DRS activated. So we'll see what speed he's reaching at the end. About 330 just. 326 I saw. Oh, and he's had a bit of a moment coming around turn 6. So that would have cost him a lot of time. And I don't reckon he's got enough fuel to go for a third lap. So that might be it for Grimmy as he gets out of his way of his teammate. Banana, he's just getting out of the way of one of the Haas drivers. Stobby, he is a proper lap. No, he made a mistake, so this is his final lap now. That is Combat, the only man not to set a time yet, and he's on an outlap, so definitely wants to get a time on the board. Stobby, he has, where's he lost it? He's lost it turn 2. Exited turn 2, started turn 3, so right on board with, I think Banana's the closest driver. So we'll just see him, yeah, he's just lost it on the switch, and then he's hit the wall, so currently P8 for Stobby, still a good lap from him, but hopefully he doesn't drop too many spots. Orphan, he's coming around the final couple of corners now. 40 seconds left on the clock. Can he snag pole position? Oh, he gets close, not quite enough. He squeezes the tight gap between first and third and pops him on the front row. Metz is on his last flyer. What about Clarence? Currently P18. Harass currently in the top 10 on his last flyer. What about Entei? He's starting his last flyer. Whoop, who's gone backwards there? Oh, that's Harass, so he won't be getting another lap in. What about Bompton coming around? He's currently up on his time. Can he do anything? He does. He takes pole 23.8. So what can Karma do? Can he get back that top position? Banana coming around the final corner now. Can he challenge? Up to P4, 24 flat. So nearly into the 23s. What about the other Red Bull, Prezzo? He's currently up, but he's just invalidated. So he's staying in 10th at the very least. Karma, quickly jump onto him. He's around in the final corner now. Can he get back that pole? He can. He does by 8 hundredths. So he's into the 23.7s. So that's Groomy or Deputy into the pits. That's a McLaren coming around the final corner now. Clarence, he moves himself up into 15th. Metz, he goes into the top 10, replaces Prezzo. So we got Logan coming around the final corner. He's invalidated, so he's done. And then we got a big train with Mercedes Logan. He's retired. Snickers Bud, what can he do? Currently on the second last row of the grid. He moves up into 14th right behind his teammate. Mercedes fan, he's in. What about, I think that might be Bompton. He's coming around the final corner now. He didn't quite add enough, he stays front row. What about Entei? He's up. Oh, not quite, he's down. And that Williams behind him stays where he is. So that is it for qualifying. And Karma had pole for majority of the session. It got pinched from Bompton, but he managed to get it back. So Karma and Bompton will be your top two. So really good result for Bompton there. Struggled the last few rounds, but he's in a position that he can challenge for a win tonight. So there's your results on the screen. Karma, only 8 100ths from Bompton. Orphan, Banana, Grimmy, they're your top 5. So very close. Top 3 in the 23s. Entei, Jeff, Stobby, Harass, and Metz rounds out the 10. Prezzo doesn't have to fight for a championship now. He's already got it, but he's going to have to fight through the field a little bit in this one. Only starting P11. Mercedes fan 12th, and then both Alpine boys 13th and 14th. As we scroll down to the rest of the field, Logan 15th, Clarence 16th, Junkyard 17th, Combat 18th, and Deputy is on the last row of the grid by himself in P19th and last. So really good qualifying there and really tight at the top too. So Karma, he hasn't been off the podium since round 9 at USA, and he's won 3 of the last 4, including both at Brazil and Mexico. So can he get a 4th win of the season? It is cloudy for Abu Dhabi at the moment. Surely there will not be any rain. I'd be very surprised, but I've seen stranger things, so... But we'll find out what strategy these guys are going on. Again, medium, hard, medium. Medium is about 12 to 13 laps, hard 17 to 18. And then if anyone wants to chuck on a set of softs, probably around 6 to 7. As the formation lap gets underway, and Karma leads us away off on that particular lap. Bring up the tyres, and majority of the drivers gone mediums. So we've got a couple of standouts. Jeff in 7th, Horacio Reserve 9th, Prezzo championship winner in 11th, and Deputy last man on the grid. All starting on hards. So these 4 drivers going to go long. So these guys will have to try and be a little bit careful not to lose too many positions off the start. But they're wanting to do something different. But Karma, he's got the run into turn 1. So can Bompton do anything about it? A bit of a shortish run to turn 1. There is a lot of space on the outside, but we have seen in the past collisions. Doesn't take much to spin the driver trying to go too wide through there. And then obviously trying to go side by side around 2, 3 and 4 is also can be a tough ask, especially if one car gets unsettled with the heavy fuel load these guys will currently have. But Karma, he's taken a fairly quick formation lap, I must say. Last 4 cars are still around the hairpin. of turn 9, so he's definitely wanting a quicker formation lap, but as we wait for all these guys, it's going to be about a half-minute wait before we get lights underway. And Karma's been disqualified from the session, so he's going to lose. I can't go on board with him, unfortunately, but he's lost a little bit of meterage, so this may actually help Bompton into turn 1 if he can get the start, of course. As we've got the last car on the grid combat, he's been disqualified, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights are on now. Lights out, and it's a good start from Karma. Orphan wants to make a move. Bompton, has there been contact before turn 1? So Karma keeps the lead. Orphan slots into P2. Bompton drops back to P3 as Stobby and Harass battle. Harass has actually made up 3 spots on his hard tyres, so he's had a really nice start. And there's a big dive bomb from one of the Williams, and that doesn't end well, so hopefully that Ferrari does not have any damage. But bit of a chaotic start as we've got still drivers having contact at the back. Snickers Combat as we go 3 wide. So carnage in this first half lap. As we go side by side, I think there's been a bit of an issue up here. One of the AlphaTauris is ghosting Mercedes fan. So these guys still trying to sort themselves out. So front pack have managed to get away clearly as the Aston up the inside of the Haas. So Metz and Logan going side by side. And that's Stobby around. And there's contact between the Haas and the Aston Martin. So Logan and Metz, they've come together. Both have got no front wings, and we have a virtual safety car. So absolute carnage. And yeah, Gavin, I've missed, but Grimmy was the one that spun, so he's at the back of the grid. So hopefully he doesn't have any damage. But chaotic start that entire first lap. So probably not the racing that we want to see. Luckily enough, our top drivers managed to get away, except for Grimmy, unfortunately. But Harass, he's made up 3 spots on those hards, so he actually got away well. But Logan, he's in. Snickers Bud and Stobby, they're in. So Stobby was in the top 10, but unfortunately he's had damage. But a lot of cars together as we go back green flag racing. So fairly close. Harass has got Mercedes fan right on the back of him. As you go side by side, Harass just didn't quite have the run onto the back straight. As we right on board with Extinct, and we'll follow the action through his eyes. Harass trying to get the better drive off the corner, but not quite enough, and he's got to watch out for Extinct. As I quickly jump back up, Banana, he's going to try and make a move around the outside, not quite on Bompton, so they stay as is. So, Mercedes, Harass, he's around, and he's going to have to make a pit stop. So, a lot of drivers having issues, and Harass on those hard tyres did not like the exit of turn 9. So a lot of cars, I think Logan, he's had an issue at the back. He has at the chicane. Orphan, he's got the quickest lap at the moment. And that's who's that? Extinct around at the final corner. So a lot of drivers losing their front wings at the moment. Grimmy, he sets the fastest lap. And I think Orphan, he was battling for the lead. He's had a spin. So dropping like flies at the moment. But he looks like he's got away without damage, so he can fight back. He's got to be careful to get out of the way and not pick up a warning or a pen coming back on track. As I quickly jump, Prezzo, he's dropped spots. Logan, he's around at turn 14. Stobby and Metz, he's coming in, same as Harass for new wings. So, still got Logan sector 3. Hopefully can get a move on as we've got an issue. Harass has left the session. I think he's had an issue He's had an issue at coming out of the pit lane. He's gone too deep. So we've seen a few drivers over the years do that at this pit lane. Very hard pit lane to manoeuvre as we quickly jump back on board with Banana and Bompton. So Banana harassing Bompton. Oh, and he thought about a dive up the inside. Bompton left him plenty of room. So Banana definitely got the pace on Bompton at the moment. Right on board with Banana as we see his viewpoint. Logan, he's retired. Is that in the pits? No, it's not. He's crashed into the pit wall. So he couldn't even get himself into the pit lane. Again, it's another VSC. We do not have a safety car yet. So the pack will still be spread out a little bit. So absolute carnage at the start. But Bompton and Karma are your top two. So Karma did have Orphan, but Orphan drops. He's dropped back to 8th, obviously, with that spin. So I say another quick little breather. As Extinct, he comes into the pits, had to go the entire lap with damage. Oh, Mercedes fan, he's picked up a drive through. He was in a good spot in 5th, but that's unlucky with him speeding under the VSC. But Banana right behind Bompton, looking for a move down at turn 6. Not quite wanting to hold back. Can he do something? Oh, had a bit of a tank slapper through there, so he's lost the momentum. So I think Bompton will be safe for the time being. And Metz has had an issue final corner. So gaps opening up already, but that's just with the amount of incidents we've had already, and we're only 4 laps in. So Mercedes fan right on the back of Entei, but he has to serve a drive through. Nearly touched the back end of the Ferrari in front. Bit of a moment there. Is he going to serve this drive through now? No, he's going to hang out just 1 lap. I might have served it straight away just in case. We've seen so far that a safety car could get called straight away. Bompton, he sets his purple last sector. He's having to push because Banana is pushing him all the way through, wants that 2nd position. Stobby, he picks up 3 seconds. So our first corner cutting penalty. But what can Mercedes fan do? Around turn 5 now. As I think Mercedes fan actually has got the job done, so I sort of missed that as I was looking down at my notes. But Mercedes fan's got the job done, but again, he's got that drive through. Banana got a better exit, that seems like that time. With the DRS, will he think of a move? Probably not quite close enough, but he's going to try that outside line. He likes the outside line and then do the bit of a switch back to the inside. But Bompton had it covered. Entei still right behind Mercedes fan. Jeff still hanging on. He's on those hard tyres. So he can go longer and have the fresher rubber at the end. Combat in 7th. Pretty sure Combat's had a bit of an issue. Oh, who spun there? Oh, Banana, he's had a spin. Surely he wasn't close enough for a move with Bompton, so he might have just done that on his own. So Banana, that's another driver that we've lost out of the top 4. So it's not just the guys down the field. Oh, and who's that? That's Grimmy? Yes, he is. That's his 2nd spin of the night. So that's no damage, but Grimmy having a bit of a mare. Mercedes fan, he's serving his drive through now. I think he's seen a couple of incidents and doesn't want to be caught by this safety car. So with all these spins, the gaps have spread out. There's only a couple of gaps between under a second. Orphan, he's climbed himself back up to 6. But Combat, pretty sure he started close to the rear of the grid. He sets fastest lap on those hard tyres. We haven't exactly had a lot of green flag racing to actually set a decent fastest lap. But I'll check positions. Yeah, Combat up 13 positions as we've got 2 incidents. So I think it's Extinct who just set that fastest lap. No, it's not. It's his teammate Snickers, but he's had an issue. And then we had Metz have the spin in the 3rd sector. So trying to get back on Combat. He's the big mover, same with Junkyard, and he's looking for another position, P4. So he's made those medium tyres work really well, and he's avoided all the carnage. Banana, whoops. I think that was possibly by himself, unfortunately. But he's still in it, no damage, currently P7. So Orphan Drop and Banana both having spins, but still we've got 23 laps of this race yet to play out. And we've already seen so much happen, as we've got Grimmy right behind Mercedes fan. So Grimmy will be annoyed with that spin. So he's going to make up positions again. We jump up to Combat. That is Extinct. So he's unfortunately had a spin. So both Alpines just struggling in the race tonight. Combat, does he look for a move on Jeff? No. Try and line him up for turn 9. Wants a good exit out of here on the medium tyres. A bit of a moment. Still within touching distance, but he's got no ERS to play with. Jeff's got a little bit that he can use to defend. Combat will stay there, but good result at the moment. Combat and Bompton, 2 Alfa Romeos in the top 5. Oh, Jeff running a little bit wide there. Won't affect his time too much, but that may be a warning. So he's got to be a little bit careful. Clarence and Deputy very close together. Deputy getting a bit of a better drive out of the hairpin. The Deputy's got no ERS to play with, neither does Clarence. Yellow flag in front. Who's that? Banana, he's gone around again. Second spin for Banana tonight, and he's going to put him right in this battle. Yeah, covering the inside, he may have damage. No, he's not, he's going to stay out. Will he jump back up? Deputy and Clarence. Down to turn 1, so 5 cars very close together at the moment. So Grimmy at the back of this, saying right wing damage, so it might be minor, but that's going to hurt him quite a bit. So Clarence drops a spot from Mercedes fan, so he's fighting back from that drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. And he's going to have a run at Deputy now. So Deputy going to be eaten up, Extinct. That's a pit and quit from him. So his nights didn't go the way he wanted, so he's going to end it early. Oh, and a bit wide there. Banana side by side with the Mercedes of Clarence. Banana gets the position. Got 2 moves there, but Clarence has still got the inside. No, ducks back in under Banana slipstream. Have to go to the heli shot. So Mercedes fan from Deputy, from Banana, from Clarence, from Grimmy. So there's the battle pack from 9th down. So no other closer battles except for Junkyard and Prezzo getting close together. But this is your main battle at the moment. Mercedes fan, he's pulling away, so that's showing his speed that he's got. Deputy sort of struggling a little bit, and now he's got Banana right on his tail. Oh, bit of contact there from Banana. Got to be a little bit careful. Grimmy, he's ran wide at turn 1 with that wing damage affecting him. So Karma and Boston still 2 leaders. Entei is about 6.5 seconds behind the top 2. So top 2 have gapped him with people having spins and instants, but Banana using DRS only is going to stick behind. I think he wanted to wait for the next straight, but he didn't have a choice because Clarence was right behind him, so he had to go for it in the end. Oh, and it's a little bit messy there. Deputy's had a poor exit, which will allow Clarence to get side by side. Yeah, and Clarence has got the run through. But will Deputy fight back? He's got no ERS to use up on the inside. Clarence takes the wider line. Still side by side around turn 9. Grimmy's in the hunt as well, if anything should happen ahead. But I think Clarence has got this job done. So Clarence, he gets himself into 11th. Orphan Drop, he's in. So he's wanting off those medium tyres. So I think his spin may have hurt his tyres a little bit. What's he going on? We've got a yellow flag. Goes on to the hards. Mercedes fan, he's had an issue coming out of that second last corner. It can definitely happen. I think he's kept going, so he hasn't had damage. So Mercedes fan, again, one of the unfortunates. As Orphan, he's going to come out in front of Mercedes fan and Stobby. Mercedes fan just letting Stobby go, obviously trying to cool down those tyres that are cooked from that spin. So Stobby a little bit wide there, but I'll quickly jump up to the battle for the lead. We haven't seen these two in a while, but Bompton within DRS, so he's looking to go on the attack. Both have about the same amount of ERS. And Jeff, he's right behind Entei, so Jeff's hard's starting to come into play now. So Entei may want to think about a pit stop maybe. We're thinking about lap 12 at least for the pit stops, as I think we've got team orders for McLaren. We do. Grimmy takes deputy. But Bompton, he's just happy to sit back behind Karma. Will he possibly think of an undercut? Quickly check. Grimmy made Jeff made a mistake. Combat right on the back, so both Alfa Romeos looking to go on the attack. Orphan, he picks up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. Oh, Jeff goes a little bit wide. That just opens the door up for Combat. So job done. Who got DRS activation? It was Combat. So Jeff will try and get into slipstream, but that DRS will help Combat defend. He does, and he keeps the position. Jeff goes a little bit deep. Combat will probably have the better exit through here. Can Jeff fight back? He's closing, but it won't be enough. So, rough half lap for Jeff. He was on the attack of Entei, but lost out to Combat when all said was done. But Jeff's still in a really good position, top 5 at the moment, with lots of people having issues. Prezzo, P6, he's going along as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys feed back in once they make their pit stop. But Bompton only 0.3 of a second now with our leader. So these two fight for the win, and they've got a big gap to Entei behind. Mercedes and Grimmy fighting side by side. Mercedes man gets the job done. But Bompton, about same ERS. Will he think about making the move now? It's only 0.3 of a second. Will he sit back behind or will he get it done? Orphan's fastest lap on those new hard tyres. He decided to sit back. Didn't use any ERS. Karma didn't have to use some either. So whether these two will sort of work together a little bit and increase their gap and leave it as a 2-horse race. Bompton just still sitting behind, not using any ERS, so he's fairly comfortable. So he may have a bit more speed. Might have kept his mediums in a better position, but it's only 2.5 tenths. So Bompton getting a nice exit out of the hairpin. As we go through sector 3 now, right on the back of Karma. Yeah, I think Bompton's tyres are in a little bit better condition, and Karma's struggling a little bit. So will Karma choose? Bompton nearly followed him. So I think Bompton's going to try and go for the overcut, Karma. So this is going to have to be a brilliant flying lap from Bompton, and Karma has to have to do the out lap of his life, I reckon, on those cold hard tyres. But we'll wait and see as 3 of the top 5 are in, getting off their medium tyres. So Jeff will take the net lead once Bompton comes in this lap, because Bompton will have to come into cover. So he's burning a little bit. I'd probably burn a little bit more, unless he's going to go a little bit longer. But Karma, he's come out in some nice fresh air behind Prezzo. So he'll have plenty of time to get those hard tyres warmed up. Bompton thought about a little bit of a moment out of 7, or out of 8. Out of 7 I should say, and through 8 now, and then come to the hairpin of 9. So hasn't used any ERS on this lap. Karma, I reckon, has probably used a little bit to try and still be within that window. Bompton, will he come in? Around turn 14 now. He's definitely in. He's got to be careful not to speed. Gets it done. So now we watch on board with Karma. He's closing up to Prezzo quite quickly, but we'll have to wait and see. And Alfa Romeo's down the pit lane quite a bit, so it won't be as long before it gets to the end of the pit lane. As pit lane goes underneath the track around turn 1, I think Karma's done it. He has. Bompton a bit of a slower in lap than Karma's out lap. So Karma's actually got the gap quite a bit. So surprisingly, those hard tyres working a lot better than those mediums. Thought it might have been a little bit closer than that, but yeah, Karma really nice in lap, and he's got DRS from Prezzo in front, so this is just going to help him. So Bompton's going to have to work quite a bit to get within range. Karma not going to do anything too stupid on Prezzo. He knows Prezzo's not his fight, or Prezzo has a bit of a moment, and that slowed Karma down massively. This is hurting Karma's lead and allowing Bompton's tyres to warm up. So Prezzo gets out of the way. So it'll be interesting to see how much time Karma loses on this lap. Bompton starting to get those hard tyres nicely in range. Quickly go down to Orphan and Ente, the P5. So Orphan got a little bit better pace than Ente. Ente, those couple of laps fresher tyres. As I quickly jump back on Banana. Oh, contact! Caught that late, but Banana and Junkyard having an issue down at turn 9 before the hairpin. So Banana having to go off circuit. Oh, and Junkyard for measure. He's had a spin, but that's a reset to track. As Grimmy and Mercedes fan, as he goes right on the back. So both didn't end well for Junkyard or Banana then. Lost a lot of time there. We jump back up to Orphan and Ente. Orphan will look to get the move done at the end of this first back straight. DRS activated. He's only 3/10 behind. I reckon it's going to be a fairly easy move from Orphan. Yeah, he's already side by side. I don't think Ente will probably fight this too hard. No, he won't. I think he might just sit back. Oh, Orphan. Slow out of the corner. Ente, bit of a touch. Orphan spun. So that Orphan did that by himself. There was a little bit of contact, but that was the corner before. So Orphan, that's his second spin of the night, and he drops behind Combat as well. So Combat and Bompton 4th and 6th, but we still have 2 cars yet to stop. So for Jeff and Prezzo, a safety car right about now will be very handy for them. Harass, he's in. That's his ghosted car, unfortunately. What's that going to chuck him on hards? Back to Orphan. So Orphan having to make up time again. Grimmy and Mercedes fan side by side in the hairpin. So Grimmy is the one that goes on top of that battle at the moment. Grimmy, he picks up a 3-second time penalty. He went wide at the exit of 13. But these two having a scrap. Grimmy probably not where he wanted, both him and Mercedes fan. Having a few issues early on in this race. So they're fighting back well down the grid of where their pace is tonight. Well, that's wide for Mercedes fan. Might have picked up a warning there. As we go around 4. We got the first hairpin at turn 5. Mercedes fan will line him up a little bit. Grimmy wasn't within a second of Clarence in front, so Mercedes will be the only one with DRS. Yellow flag, Metz is retired. I set a safety car. This might be it. It is. So, as I said, safety car worked out perfectly for Jeff and Prezzo, and this has helped out massively. Those mediums will be able to go to the end and look for Jeff and Prezzo to be on the attack. Prezzo doesn't speed into the pits. And Prezzo, he'll be in as well. Bompton and Karma actually will be as well. Remember, with this new game update, all these guys can jump back onto a second set of mediums. So that's what they're wanting to do, be on the fresher tyre. They'll lose out to Jeff, but they'll be racy at the end. Entei decides to stay out. Does he beat Jeff out? No, he doesn't. So Jeff, I said he wanted a good night tonight, and he's currently net lead of this race on a fresh set of medium tyres that will go the rest of the way. So, as I said, safety car would have helped him and Prezzo out massively, and it has. There's a lot of these guys coming in for fresh mediums now. And it will close the pack up. So, Grimmy and Mercedes fan and Banana, they've had pretty shocking nights from their point of view. They'll be right on the back of this pack. And only 3 cars in the top 10 stayed on their hard tyres. So, they may struggle at the end of this race. Well, sorry, they might struggle at the start. They might have a bit better wear at the end. But, yeah, mediums definitely would be the tyre that I'd want to be on. But Jeff, can he get his first win of the series? Looking at the standings, his best result was a 4th at Coda, as we saw him do a really nice race there. So, can we see him get that next stage, get on the podium, and even get this win? He had the pace too, and he's got possibly a little bit of a buffer with Entei behind. And Entei, he's struggled massively this season. He's only got the 1 win in Japan, and hasn't been on the podium in the rest. So can he not hold on and get a good podium? Get his second podium of the season. And then Bompton, he's only got the 1 podium as well. Combat, he's only had 1 podium. So a lot of these drivers in the top 6 have only got 1 podium or no podiums. So it'd be nice to actually see some fresh faces on there. Not knocking Karma, Prezzo or Orphan. They've been the form drivers, especially as of late. But we still got 10 laps, I reckon, of racing left to go. Got 12 laps left. This safety car, we've got Snickers Bud right at the back. Might stay out for another lap. He's hard tyre, so he might actually make another pit stop, get onto a fresh set of mediums. So here's Snickers Bud, he's in the pits. Yeah, Banana, I've caught a couple of them already with the resets track. So unfortunately, it hindered you before with that incident with Junkyard, and then Junkyard having his own moment at that same corner. But yeah, so I've already seen a couple of it tonight. But as we saw with the start of this race, it was a bit of chaotic start. As we all know the saying, safety cars breed safety cars. But Jeff, at the moment, he leads. Haras is currently third in the line, I believe. He is, but ghosted car. So this may hurt Karma in terms of the getaway. So unfortunately that ghosted car may play a little bit. So Karma's got to be careful not to overtake before the line, which may leave him vulnerable a little bit to Bompton. So we'll have to keep that in mind when we get this started back underway. So Grimmy, he's picked up a drive through, falling too far back. So his night has gone from bad to worse to whatever the saying is after worse. So that's super unfortunate for him. So he's going to have to serve drive through when this safety car comes in. He thought this was his chance to get back into it, but unfortunately that's not it. Junkyard, he's coming in. So I think he realises those hard tyres not the greatest, but he's going to drop about 5 positions to do so. have to say mediums. Softs probably won't get to the end. What are they? They are mediums. So he's thinking he wants to be on the quicker tyre, so we've only got 2 drivers at the moment on the hard tyres still running. So Clarence in 8th, Entane's 2nd. They haven't got too much wear on them, but I feel the fresh mediums will have one advantage for the first 6 laps. They may even out at the end, but Ente's got a lot of work to keep Cameron, Brompton and the likes behind. Prezzo, after his shock and quality, he was sort of nowhere, but he's back into the top 5. So, chance this race win's not out of question for him either. Ente, or I think Karma's trying to do the sneaky pass. Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, Grimmy spun behind the safety car and got the drive through, being too far back. Super unfortunate for Grimmy. Safety car's in this lap, so we will have 10 laps of racing. So Jeff, he will have control of this safety car restart. So when does he decide to go? He's got to let the safety car get away. Does he go early? Does he go out of the final corner? Those mediums will warm up a little bit quicker than what Ente's done. Ente's got to try and stick with him. Jeff, got to remember to let the safety car get far enough away. So, as you watch, they may go out of the first corner, out of the last corner I should say. Safety car's in pit lane now. So he's going to go right out of the corner. Is he going to wait? He's gone. That's a good start from him. Ente managed to hold on with him. Still cars side by side. Luckily enough, the ghosted car got out of the way. Orphan drop around the outside of Combat. He gets the job done. So it's stayed the same at the front. Prezzo looking for a move on Bompton, and he's got his Red Bull teammate behind him. Stobby goes side by side with Clarence. So Clarence struggling on those hard tyres at the restart. So Jeff has managed to get 6/10. That's what he wanted. As we got the Mercedes fighting, but that's just the ghost car getting out of the way. Clarence getting overtaken by Stobby. So gap's still the same. Jeff still leads. So Prezzo and Orphan really close to Bompton. As we look at the shot from above, there's the gaps. Oh, that's Bompton lagging quite badly. Hopefully more so on my screen, and hopefully that hasn't put Prezzo off too much. Hopefully that was just on my end, not his. But end of lap 20, Jeff will actually have a 1 second lead, so he's already broken DRS. And sets fastest lap, 1:27.1. So Bompton, he's left the session, so that wasn't just me. So hopefully he can get back in, but he's going to lose a lot of positions trying to get back. As Prezzo, as we go on board, still not too bad in terms of pace, but yeah, Bompton will lose a lot of spots in the corners, and the AI will move out of the way if someone goes for a move on him. So super unfortunate for Bompton. Hopefully he can get back in very quickly, as it's his teammate next. As Orphan goes around Bompton's ghost car now. So it's Red Bull 4-5, Alfa Romeo 6-7. But Jeff is at the lead, and Karma goes on the inside of Ente. Ente holds the outside line, gets the better exit out of 9, but Karma really wanting to make the move on Ente because he knows he needs to get past him to make a move on Jeff. Can't let Jeff get too far away. So Entei still holding off Karma, and this is helping Jeff. Oh, Entei had a moment coming out of the last corner. This opens the door up for Karma. Oh, not quite. I think Entei probably had to use a bit of ARS to keep that position. But Bonton falling down the list. He's down to 8th. As we watch Entei. Karma's going to go on the attack, but he's got to be careful of Prezzo. As DRS gets activated for the first time combat, he got a little bit squirrely out of the final corner, out of the hairpin of turn 5, I should say. Karma goes for a move. No, he thinks better of it. Wants to line him up at turn 9. Needs to get a good exit out of 7. And he'll activate DRS around turn 8. So Entei will have to cover the inside line, but I think those mediums will have a fair amount of grip, and he does. He gets the move done. So Karma up to 2nd, and he's got 2.5 seconds to chase down to Jeff with about 7.5 laps to go. So Entei just got to try and hang in there. But Prezzo is right on the back of him already. So just a big train at the moment, same as Clarence, the other hard runner. So he's got a train behind him as well. So Grimmy, he picks up another 3 seconds. Obviously he had to serve a drive-through. So I'm pretty sure he has served it. Yes, he has. Prezzo right on the back of Entei. Grimmy, he does set the fastest lap. There is a point on offer for him, and he's currently in the points with 14th at the moment. But Karma didn't break Entei, so Entei's got defence. So Entei just needs to sit behind and stay within a second of Karma to help defend from the quicker guys behind. But Prezzo is getting a nicer run out of turn 7. As Banana and Clarence, I'll quickly go side by side. Banana gets the job done, but Clarence will have DRS. Oh, and that's Mercedes fan coming out of nowhere around the outside. So Mercedes fan probably got a little bit balked by Banana in front, but around the outside, can he get the move done? He can, but Clarence is still there. But Mercedes fan gets the job done, so Banana and Mercedes fan both pass Clarence. So their next target is to catch back onto the back of this field. I think Bompton, is he back in? He looks like he's back in. So behind his teammate, but still in the top 8. Entei still holding off Prezzo, but he's out of that 1 second, which is going to hurt him. Karma hasn't made any inroads to Jeff, so Jeff doing very nicely. About the same ARS. But Entei trying to hold on to this podium position. Prezzo getting it, Prezzo getting a nice exit out of the hairpin, and I think this is just a matter of time. He gets the move done. What about Orphan? Is he close enough? He won't, but Prezzo, that's probably a little bit of lag on my end. Entei probably got balked a little bit from Prezzo, and this is going to allow the run from Orphan, but Entei's got DRS. But he's got no ARS to play with, neither does Orphan drop. So what does he do? Orphan tries to go around the outside, but Entei's got the bit of line. Will he try the switch back? Or Entei goes super wide there. Surely that's a warning. Manages to hold the position. Or Orphan has the dive bomb. Manages to get the room done. Entei trying to fight back. Side by side through 13. Around 14, they're still side by side. Stobby and Combat just watching and waiting. Or around 15, Entei goes wide. But they're still side by side, about 4 corners in a row. But I think Orphan finally gets the position. So Entei P5. So he's lost 2 positions on that lap. We've had a McLaren spin. That's Grimmy at 14. And now Stobby in the Brewery P6 at the moment. He's looking for P5. Karma, he's eaten into the gap of Jeff. So 1.7 seconds with 5 laps to go. Now Stobby's turn on Entei. Entei still got DRS from the car in front, so Stobby can't do much. Maybe try and line up. Oh, and that combat going a little bit deep. That will hurt his run. And will his teammate think about something? They'll stay in line, but Stobby got the better line through there. He's got the inside of turn 9. Entei stuck on the outside. And Stobby gets the move done. He does. Orphan, he picks up 3 seconds. So Entei, currently will be a net P4, but top 3 will be as is without any more pens. Sniggers, but he's had a spin. Exit of turn 9. Oh, and who's that? Bompton. First lagging out, and he's had a spin, so that's cost him any chance of a possible podium or a top 5. So super unlucky for him. But Stobby, he's already broken Entei. Entei struggling on those hard tyres. So he definitely needed to come in with everybody else. Lead at the front, 1.4. So Calm slowly chipping away. Again, same ARS. So Stobby looking at Orphan for P4. Both have 3-second pens though. No, Orphan's got 6. So Stobby's a net 5th. Sorry, net 4th if he doesn't quite get the move done. So Entei, he can hang on, but he's got Combat right behind him. Combat's had a spin. Oh, and there's contact with Banana. Combat half spun. Banana had nowhere to go. So Banana's night goes from bad to worse. That allows Clarence and Mercedes fan to move up. So Entei gets a bit of a breather now. And he's still within. Oh, Entei having a moment through turn 9. So Entei still fourth position still up for grabs for him. With the 2 in front having pens, but he's going to have to catch back up. So Stobby's still sitting on the right back, but quickly jump at the front. Karma, I reckon he's taken out about a second, so might only be a matter of time, but Jeff still in a really good position. And Grimmy goes around again, unfortunately, at the exit of the chicane. So as we can see, 10 laps, mediums for everybody, except for Entei, 14 lap old hards, and then a couple of soft runners at the end. So what can Jeff do? Can he hold off Karma for another 3 laps? So it'll be interesting to see if Jeff's running lower downforce or if Karma's running lower downforce. On a ball, Karma. Jeff got a better exit out of the chicane there, so Karma won't be close enough for turn 9, but DRS is definitely going to help, and he might just save a bit of ARS and maybe go for a final lap attack. Prezzo not quite catching, same as Orphan drop, but he's got Stobby right behind, so battle for 4th isn't over yet. Entei has now got Mercedes fan right on the back of him. As Bompton and Combat, 2 Alfa Romeos go side by side. Bompton gets the position on Combat, so last couple of laps for these 2 haven't gone well, and they've got Clarence in front, so on hards they should be able to get past him fairly easily from what we've been able to see so far. Mercedes fans still hurrying Entei. So this move was we quickly jump back. Mercedes, Clarence trying to hold off both Alfa Romeos. It's as is, same with Stobby. Karma still 7/10, or about even. He's closing. He's been able to save, but so is Jeff. Prezzo's sort of getting back into this battle with these 2 fighting. Jeff needs to get the exit. Karma had a better exit than the previous lap. Jeff's going to have to defend, I reckon. He's not burning, Karma is. So Karma the inside line. It gets there, it's tight. Karma's still got the Jeff's got the inside line. Has to go side by side, but Karma gets the lead back. So Karma takes the lead with a lap and a half to go. But Jeff's still in this. If he can stay within DRS, have an attack down the back two straights. Karma's going to try and have to push in this first sector of this last lap. But we'll stay on board with the battle for the lead. Karma had to use a bit more ERS to make the move done. So what can Jeff do in retaliation? Prezzo, he's within a second, so if anything happens with the top two, he's in prime contention. Same with Orphan Drop. He's still within a decent margin. As we've got Combat, he's had a bit of a spin. Prezzo's closed right up. Oh, so Jeff's had a poor exit, so this will help Prezzo on board, and I think that allows Karma to pretty much get away with this victory now. Banana, he sets the fastest lap on the new softs after his night to forget. Jeff probably a little bit wide there, but doesn't hurt his exit too much. But I think Karma's got this in the bag. So on board, Bompton and Clarence going side by side. Bompton gets the move done at turn 6. But Karma, I reckon he's going to do it again. He's only got a couple of corners left. Jeff, he's managed to hold on. He's fully thinking about to move the final corners. He's right on the back, but no mistakes for these guys. But we'll go on board with Karma. He'll cross the line. He'll win. Oh, Jeff's had a spin. Come on, reverse. Cross the line. Oh, Stobby. Come on, cross the line. Oh, he does. He gets third. Oh, he saved that. Oh, that would have been gunning for Jeff, but he still manages to get the podium. He had to make it difficult, and it was only 0.6 of a second. So I thought it was going to be Karma, Jeff, Prezzo, but Jeff spinning on the last corner of the last lap, but manages to get his podium. So well deserved from him. Stobby, Orphan Drop, Entei. Those hearts not quite working out, but he managed to finish 6th, just behind Orphan Drop after Pens. Mercedes fan Clarence, good position to get up into P8. Bompton, after his tough run tonight, and Deputy, he finds himself at the final spot in the 10. So hectic last few laps. I'd say a hectic race overall. Exciting in Karma. He gets it done second last lap, and Jeff, he's probably breathing a sigh of relief. Wasn't the win that he probably thought at that restart, but he gets his first podium of the season. But Karma, again, the man to beat at the moment. That's 4 of the last 5. With 3 rounds to go, he's probably too far back out of contention for a top 3 placing in this championship, but don't write him out of maybe getting 4th or 5th. Currently 8th in the standings at the moment, but that's another super result, and he's been definitely one of the top guys since coming back into this series. But his job's done, and it's another victory for Karma. Prezzo, starting outside the 10, he gets 2nd spot, so he managed to avoid the carnage, got a lucky safety car, picks up P2, and then Jeff, Hart skipped a beat for him, but he gets that podium from P7 to P3. The long strategy worked for him. That safety car played out, and Stobby as well, P8 to P4. I think that might be his best result of the season. No, it equals his best. He did get a 4th in Spain, so brilliant result from Stobby. Orphan Drop, he picks up another top 5 finish. Entei struggled on those hard tyres, but P6. Mercedes fan 7th, Clarence 8th, Bompton 9th, Deputies 10th. And then you got Snickers Bud, Combat, Banana, Junkyard, Grimmy, Harass, Mets, Extinct, and Logan. So we've got 3 DNFs at the end. But exciting race, so we'll be back in a minute with the top 3. But yeah, really good race from all of our drivers there, but we'll be back in a minute. All right, so we're back with our top three, and we'll start with our third place getter, which I seriously thought he might have lost at that last corner, but managed to just squeak in and still keep that third. Jeff, first time podium sitter this season, must be a big relief off your shoulders. You've had pace the last few races, just not quite been able to get through cleanly, but you must be ecstatic with that first podium.
Yeah, definitely. Had a fair few spins, keeping it consistent.
Yeah, but how was your race from your point of view? Because you obviously went long on those hards, and then you got the perfect safety car, and managed to come out in the lead. Did you think you could keep Karma behind those last couple of laps, or did you just have a bit too much pace on you?
Nah, I had no point thought I was going to be able to keep calm behind. You had way too much pace on me today. About 10 laps in, I thought I wasn't in the race at all. So, yeah, that safety car really helped.
Yeah, but yeah, congratulations again. It was a really, really top drive from you. Except for that last corner, as I said, you managed to hold off Prezzo on that last lap too. So, I think our next race is Australia. You thinking you can keep this form up? Try and get back to back?
I would love to do that, yeah, that'd be great. But Australia's not a very strong track for myself. A lot of spins.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. But again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week in Australia.
Thank you.
All right, and on to our second place getter, Prezzo. Pretty much, I'd say poor qualifying from your standards, but once again, consistency and staying out of trouble. That's P2 once again.
I wouldn't say we kept out of trouble in that race. We had a fair few issues, a fair few moments. I mean, we spun once out of turn one on lap four or whatever, and the car was. I was just thinking, oh, for God's sake, we've just blown our chance of a good result. So it's just like, all right, keep going, go long, see if we get a safety car. And when the hard runners, well, who stopped, were getting through on me, it's just like, there's no point fighting. I'm just going to cost myself time if I try to fight Bompton and Karma. So it's just like, let them through, no point. And then, yeah, when that safety car came out, it's just like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, didn't quite have enough to get Karma, but I thought, like, as we were coming onto the back straight on the last lap, I was like, oh, we could have a shot here at Jeff, but as we got to the final sector, I'm just like, nah, P3, that'll do. So just roll it around, and then he spins out of the last corner, and it's just like, yep, that's my luck this season.
Yeah, exactly. How were track conditions? Because we did see throughout that race quite a lot of people spinning. Is that more so just the nature of the track? We know with these
Nature of
curves.
the track.
Yeah,
And a lot of corners are off camber, and on exits of corners, there are quite a few bumps, and on entry. So it is a very, very difficult track to hang on to the car because you will take it the same way twice and it will not stick like one at a time. It's a bit of an enigma.
yeah, yeah. Well, we did see
But
some bit of cloud cover at the start, so we weren't sure if that lower conditions maybe sort of catching a couple of people out. But yeah, knowing that this track can be a little bit hard, trying to get the exits, and yeah, I know both hairpins. A lot of people were spinning. Um, yeah, so definitely a tough track. But again, you managed to survive it and find yourself on the podium once again. So again, congrats to you, Prezzo, and we'll see you next week in Australia.
yeah, cheers, mate. And once again, well done, Karma. You are too bloody good, mate. I wish you came into this championship earlier in the season. Would have been a hell of a battle. Absolutely would have been a hell of a battle. But yeah, catch you next week, Scotty. And yeah, enjoy.
No worries, congrats on the podium, and yeah, you first place getter, Karma. Again, that's 4 from 5 now. So
Is
you're,
it?
yeah, because you won Mexico, you won both Brazil races, and you've now won tonight. So if you count the sprint or not,
Oh,
you've
if you count the sprint, then yeah, it's four. But I say it's three. It's three main races.
say three, but I'll still say five top three finishes. So you've kept your good form going. And what was your race sort of like? You had the battle with Bompton, um, and Orphan at one point, and then sort of race was sort of on its own. I actually thought you might have been in a little bit of trouble, but with the pit stop, but you managed to get a decent gap on Bompton when you came out, and sort of things were going well for you until that safety car. So, what was your thinking of just coming in, losing track position, being on the fresh tyres?
If the safety car didn't come out, And Bompton didn't disconnect. I think I would have come second. I think Bompton would have had me. He was quick. He was so quick through the third sector. It was just unfortunate circumstances with him disconnecting after the safety car, which threw him down the order. But that safety car, oh my god, we were so far ahead, and the safety car's come out and just giving him free pit stop, and I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna have to pit because it's giving these guys free meds. I might as well go in as well. But the track was so slippery, so slippery.
Yeah, we saw with Ente, he obviously tried the other strategy to stay out on those hards, but just one with the warm up, but two, just the fresh grip that the mediums had. Obviously took you a little bit to get past him, but once you did, you just managed to get away from him. And obviously trying to chase down Jeff, did you think it was going to be easy to get him, or were you sort of just trying to get there bit by bit and save a bit of ARS to make the move on him?
At first, I'm like, okay, I'll catch Jeff's DRS in like 2 laps, 3 laps, and then it got to about 2 or 3 laps, and I've only made like 8 tenths on him, and I'm just like, oh jeez, I'm not gonna catch him. And I was getting worried actually, and then I was just like, nah, stuff it. I'll just battery dump on the exits of the straights and try and get him because I was running a low downforce, so I was able to gain a lot on the straights. So, but yeah, we got the win. I actually don't think I would have won otherwise though. But credit to Bumpton, man, he was so quick.
Yeah, super unlucky with the with the lag out, and then having a couple of issues afterwards. But again, you were the man that managed to keep it clean, and you managed to get the passes done that you needed to get that win on the second last lap. But Australia next week, are we thinking the same again?
Yeah, probably low wings again.
Low wings again.
Yeah, probably low wings. I think if you're not running low wings, I'll just give it just a little tip to the Sunday people that decided to stick around. Australia, run low wings. Trust me, you will thank me.
Yeah, that's right. But again, congrats on another victory, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, and thanks everybody for watching. A bit of a chaotic race, but had nice battles throughout, and hopefully it's just as chaotic in Australia in 7 days' time. So until then, I've been Scotty, and we'll see you next week.